Welcome back to Intertec's webinar series. This is Gina Solari. Today's topic is Nearshore IT services, leveraging a world-class Nearshore technology center based in Costa Rica. Very excited today to have two special guests, experts in this field. First off, we have Mark McLoud, our Executive Vice President and Partner, and also we have JB Dupoux, our Director of Delivery. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've built up this webinar, a very special topic for us, really based on all the questions and comments that we keep getting from all of our followers on social media, on our website, and very excited to be able to bring together just what Intertec's considered to be the four pillars or foundations around the concept of providing nearshore IT services. So first off, gentlemen, why don't we maybe start describing for everyone, what do we consider nearshore? What are some of those differences between nearshore and offshore?
Well, Gina, thank you. Time zone definitely matters, and what I've found in a nearshore environment is that the clients are able to utilize a flexible model by lowering possibly their overall costs, not only the costs associated with labor, but there are costs associated with travel, any hidden costs perhaps around knowledge transfer, along with the ratio of a one-to-one productivity as far as resources in nearshore model versus U.S. or onshore model.
JB, you know, Mark touched upon an interesting aspect on the one-to-one productivity ratio. What are you seeing in the market and in the industry that's made this such a key differentiator for nearshore services?
Well, global talent here in Costa Rica is a major factor. We've been able to bring niche technology. We also have really progressive education system in Costa Rica, so we even have interns that are getting up to speed quickly, so you have the ability to lower costs with mixed blend teams. But the one-to-one productivity happens when there is great interaction with their U.S. team and counterparts. When U.S. companies are able to all day long reach out to their team, take a 3-hour flight down and do a 2-day training, and 3 days later be back up with their families, these things make a difference. And the resources learn quicker, they get up to speed, and the product goes to market faster.
So speaking of taking an easy flight down, most people might not even know where Costa Rica is located. So why don't we maybe share just some information about, you know, this country and why it's become such a popular IT service destination?
So Costa Rica is located between Nicaragua and Panama in Central America. It's a 5-hour flight from New York and a 7-hour flight from Los Angeles, so we can cover both coasts. The safest country in Latin America is what it's called. It's become somewhat of a Switzerland in Latin America and a hub for innovation. Also, the level of education in English is amongst the best. Those are key indicators of a place where people want to visit and work. We have other big U.S. companies here. Most big Fortune 500 companies have an office or a workforce in Costa Rica.
You know, as a born and raised Costa Rican, Mark, I'm always very curious to see what are the impressions of first-time comers to our country. So as you bring clients down and in your contacts, what is their impression? What are they saying about Costa Rica?
Well, Gina, I've been coming to Costa Rica for 15 years, and what I hear from customers time and time again is the culture, the people. And I'm a big believer that people are the keys to success in any business. And I hear time and time again that there's a difference between resources in Costa Rica versus resources they have in other global operations throughout the world.
That's great, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You know, it's interesting also as out there, you know, some of our listeners might be wondering, is nearshore really right for them? Obviously, we've known outsourcing models being in the market and available since the 1980s. But back then, probably the value proposition of these companies was different, right? It was different times. Technology was enabling these services through different platforms and different strategies. But as we're looking ahead, right, and of course, Nearshore as a concept came into play in the early 2000s, and Intertec being one of the founders starting in 2002 in Costa Rica. But JB, what should clients or potential companies looking to develop this Nearshore concept, what should they be paying attention to determine if this is the right model for them?
Those are good questions, Gina. Thank you. So, if your company is new to outsourcing, that's the easy one. If you're new to outsourcing, you hear about outsourcing, you're looking for cost savings, but you're afraid to send the work to the other side of the world, you know that this nearshore option is a safe, secure, low risk, cost savings option, and it's outsourcing 101. And so I would say that's your first question to your company is if you're new to it, yes, Nearshore is for you. Another one I would say is if you're looking for more talent, if your company is struggling to find technical talent in the same time zone, having some resources in Costa Rica is just like having some resources in a couple states away from you. Their English levels are just as good. So I would say if your company is looking to expand their reach into a larger talent region, then Costa Rica and Nearshore is an option for you. What do you think, Mark? What are some other ones?
I think you make some great points, JB. I would also add to the fact that a lot of our customers have global centers throughout the world, and they're looking to minimize their risk. And they find that having a center that is time zone aligned actually meets that requirement.
Now, gentlemen, let's talk about a little deeper. What about quality, right? When it comes to that balance of looking for quality versus cost, why does Nearshore come into play?
Quality costs. That's the reality, and the lack of quality costs more. So Nearshore is an option because when you have technical resources that are world class, that can output 1-to-1, that listen, that raise the flag, that communicate better, that are integrated with your teams, that are extensions of your team, at the end you're going to save money in the long run, operational, hidden costs. But quality is the most important, and what we're finding is that the nearshore resources more and more are outputting incredible quality. I know years ago we were just taking tasks from other people, and over the past 3 years what I see is that our nearshore staff, our nearshore technical talent is actually, they're the architects of solutions. They're architecting global solutions now for Fortune 500 companies. So the quality and the bar of quality has raised greatly in the past 5 years, and it's going to continue to evolve the more and more Fortune 500 companies are entrusting us with their work.
Now, to kind of close off and go into the fourth pillar, of course, everyone wants to hear, so this all sounds like it's a formula, and there are different elements that have to, be present for it to work. So from Intertec's perspective, what are those elements that have been able to sustain since 2002, and now, 17 years later, what are those key elements that Intertec has developed? And obviously, you guys both have touched upon the importance of the people. So that people and the leadership behind it, of course, sounds like are a big differentiator. So why don't we talk about leadership?
Absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head. Proven leadership is actually one of the key components to a successful engagement with a nearshore provider. At Intertec, we have over 100 years of experience throughout our leadership team, so we're not rookies at this. We have experience, and we continue to look for training of our team members to add to that depth of experience.
Behind that leadership, it sounds like there's a big element of diversity. So JB, how do you think that hosting such a multicultural talent hub, how has that provided success to clients?
Absolutely. So we couldn't have designed it, but the magic that has happened has become kind of the secret sauce behind the scenes here, where we have people from all over the globe working at Intertec. They come from all over the world. We have an incredible relocation program and internship program, and we have diversity programs and women in technology programs, and that diversity creates an incredible energy that people have fun together. It reflects in the work, and the customer feels it, and what they say when they come down here is, wow, what a great energy from the leadership down to the staff, and that really makes a difference.
So talent from 20 different countries in just one facility. Speaking of facilities, if someone were to try to imagine maybe what, a technology center looks out of in a Nearshore concept, how would you describe it, Mark?
It's a state-of-the-art facility. We have over 35,000 square feet of facility. Multinational organizations are in our park. We have redundant power, redundant electricity, employee facilities such as soccer fields, fitness center, various restaurants on premise, along with a doctor's facility, convenience stores, just so many amenities that we have to offer within our facility.
So it sounds like it's also an invitation to just people who want to potentially see what our Nearshore Technology Center looks like, to just come on down and get a glimpse for themselves. And now that leads us into, let's talk about a recent success story, JB.
Sure. So I run operations here, and I can tell you I have a long list of success stories where companies entrusted us in their business and gave us an opportunity to improve their cost, quality, and time to market. And for an example is one of the major US banks came to us with a challenge where they had already been outsourcing for years. They had hundreds of resources in other time zones, and it was challenging for them. They had problems communicating, handoffs, training, there was hidden costs, and they weren't able to get their products to the market in time, and they said, why don't we give Intertec a try and do a pilot? We started with a small team of less than 10 resources, and quickly they caught on to the level of talent, to the improved communication, the handoffs, and we grew the team, and we're talking about critical business for them, and they entrusted us, and we were able to prove that through documentation, training, engagement with their US teams, we were able to bring to their market and have better controls. We also provided innovation that was unexpected. We improved their security monitoring. We improved their interfaces and how they were getting all of their reporting done, and their agile approach to getting products to the market, to their customers. We were able to do that faster for them. We grew the team from 10. Today we're just under 100 people in their team, and we continue to be a trusted partner, and they are a very happy customer, and we're going to continue to see growth as we provide innovation and cost savings for them.
So it sounds like all of the Nearshore best practices that we've accumulated over the years came and became critical factors of success. So congratulations, JP, to everyone on the team. And with that, we're just going to close out this webinar. Just remind everyone, you can reach us at www.intertecintl.com. Intertec is an IT service provider headquartered out of Phoenix, Arizona, with offices across the U.S. and a Nearshore Technology Center in Costa Rica. To learn more about us, we can also be on Facebook and LinkedIn. Mark, JP, it was a pleasure having you both on. Please join us back again soon in our Intertec webinar series.